Hi guys, I'm Torryn. Thanks for stopping by to check out the remaining weeks that I'm about to set up in my Jordan themed bullet journal. If you haven't seen the full setup, I'll link that down in the description box. But now let's get on to making the weekly spreads. So getting started with the first spread of these weekly setups, and this is week 2 that I'm setting up. Now I've been doing this style of setup for a while now because it just works really well for me. I basically have the days of the week in little sections on one page and not a huge amount of room per day, just enough for me to write appointments or birthday reminders or small to-dos or something like that in those spaces. But then I do the bulk of my content as a running task list on the other side, which is where I also do my illustration. And the way I do those tasks, I schedule them out by putting a dot beneath the day of the week, and then I remember to do that and cross it off as I go. If you're not quite sure what I mean there, I'll link to a video I've done before on my rolling weekly and how to set it up like that. You might find that useful if this is something that you haven't tried before. I really love it because it keeps me on track. So now on to the first sketch of this weekly setup. I wanted to showcase some of the wildlife of Jordan. Now I had no idea what wildlife is present there and what's prevalent there, but after a bit of research there were quite a few actually a lot of animals, but a few of them really stuck out for me, and I chose to do the striped hyena and the Somali ostrich. So what's cool about me choosing the ostrich is it's something that I've always wanted to draw. I've never really had the reason to, but it's always been in the background. They're just such interesting looking creatures. Not the most attractive, but I just think they're really cool. And so when I found out that they were in this Shuamari Wildlife Reserve is a conservation breeding program. It's like a closed off area of Jordan, like in the desert area. And it's, got all these beautiful animals that they're trying to keep safe from the hunting. And so I chose the ostrich, and then the other animal that I chose was this nocturnal striped hyena. I believe you can find those in the Dana Biosphere Reserve. There's lots of wildlife reserves in Jordan, and I doubt you'd be lucky enough to see one of these guys in the day, but you might see its paw prints. So I found that very intriguing. So I thought I'd throw him in the spread too. So these were my 2 picks of the amazing wildlife that you can find in Jordan. There's so much more that I didn't mention, but obviously I can't draw everything. So they were the 2 that stood out for me. So this next page's image is based on the unfinished Temple of Herecules. Now it's called that because there was thought to have been this 12-meter high statue of Hercules, and it fell down at some point in history, probably from an earthquake, and all that's remaining is now this hand and an elbow randomly. So I thought that was awesome, so I thought I'd sketch that out. And I'm just using a marker to throw in some shadows. I want to keep it really minimal on this spread. And if you're interested to know where this temple is, it's actually in the capital of Jordan, which is Amman, as part of the Amman Citadel. I apologize, this is starting to sound like a history lesson. Now for this page, I wanted to somehow showcase the Jordan River, or the River Jordan, as it is a huge part of Jordan and it's a very historically important river as well. I won't get into that part because I have no idea about it, and not even the amount of research I do for these can enlighten me as far as religion goes and things like that. That's way out of my league. So I wanted to show this as a song lyric that kept going through my head. I'm a huge fan of Michael Jackson, have been forever, and as soon as I read that they also pronounced the Jordan River as River Jordan, all that was going through my head and that I was constantly singing was "Will You Be There?" Hold me like the River Jordan, and I will then say to thee, you are my friend. Carry me like you are my brother. Love me like a mother, will you be there? So I thought of kind of harnessing that vibe and cupping the water of the River Jordan in their hands and having it sort of falling down over their fingertips. I thought it was really nice. A little bit bizarre and out there, but I definitely really enjoyed doing this one. So let me know what you think, if that's a little bit out there for you or whether you think it works in this kind of spread. So as you can see, I'm using coloured pencil for this sketch as well. I'm just using Prismacolor pencils. They blend really nicely. I used them for the emu and the hyena as well. Not the emu, whoop, that's my Aussie-ness coming out. The ostrich and the hyena. And now for this final spread, I wanted to go back to just using the basic black and gold ink because I really love how those weekly pages turn out when I use them like that. And I've just done 3 very loose sketches of people performing the native dance that they call Dabke. Hopefully I'm saying that right. So that is what I'm finishing on with this weekly spread. I hope you enjoyed looking at how I'm setting up these weeks and maybe learnt a little bit of something. Sorry if this did sound like a history lesson. It's just I learnt so much and I was like, I kind of want to share what it is that I'm drawing because otherwise it doesn't make any sense at all. So yeah, thank you for watching and I will see you in my next week's video. Bye.